Can Manchester City cut the gap to 3 points? Tolu, a unexpected twist in the Premier League title race last weekend as Bournemouth got the better of Arsenal. Manchester City did their bit a day later, and we are already anticipating this blockbuster clash, but it's got even more interesting with the gap potentially shortening further come the weekend. So, Tolu, how much pressure is on Arsenal's shoulders going into this one?
Oh, it's a lot of pressure, especially with the way they've played lately. And I'll be honest, Bournemouth are not a bad team, but I don't think anyone expected that Arsenal were going to lose at home against Bournemouth. And I don't think it was even down to the performances. Sometimes you lose a home game and you can actually see that maybe you peppered the opposition. The goalkeeper probably was man of the match and stuff like that. When that game, Arsenal were really, really poor. You look at, if they didn't get the penalty, which were they equalized early on with it, they probably wouldn't have scored. There's a real problem of creativity in this Arsenal team, and that could be a huge problem. But against City, it could be different. That's the problem here. The problem is City have to win the game. Arsenal don't have to win the game, and that could maybe play into Arsenal's hands. I think we've seen firsthand this year that if the Arsenal have got a strength, it is in defense. And I think if there's one game that Arteta will want to prove the doubters wrong, show them that the team has come of age. And the truth is, you look at the City teams, when they go head-to-head with Arsenal for a title, and they end up beating Arsenal when they both play in key games, you can't compare that City team with the City team now, and you can't compare the Arsenal team that time with the Arsenal team of now. So I think really what you want to into that Carabao Cup final defeat, it does look like City almost concede the first half to big teams when they play them now. We saw it against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup. We saw it against Chelsea. And it almost feels like tactically, Guardiola is always on top, always finds that little tweak in the second half that just blows the other team away. But I think this time, because Arsenal don't necessarily have to win, this game could be very different.
We kind of look at it and think City have to win this game to stay in the title race. Is there a scenario where Arsenal give so much not to lose and get a draw at the Etihad, but still City have a game in hand and Arsenal could still slip up again? Because we've seen that slip up against Bournemouth. They're not the perfect team that they were even a few weeks ago. So is it really a case that Arsenal have to win at the Emirates to really shut off this City, or can they get away with a draw and then get over the line themselves? How important is the must-win nature of this game for both teams?
Look, personally, I think that no matter who wins this game, there will still be twists and turns in this league. I think City have also shown that they can drop points. Arsenal have also shown that they can drop. I can tell you for a fact, none of these teams, even after the game of the weekend, will win every single game till the end of the season. I just have a sneaky feeling they'll still drop points. So I think it's absolutely vital. I think if Arsenal go into this game, like pundits and most of the press is making it look like they have to go show the rest of the league that they want to win the league, I have to go to a ground like City and actually win the game. I don't think that's quite the case. I think if Arsenal keep the gap at 6 and City win their game in hand and it's still 3 points, I think even City and Guardiola would pick points on the board as opposed to games in hand. So I know that it's psychologically will be a huge boost for Arsenal. They can go to City and win, but it's going to be completely damaging if they go and lose that game. And I just feel like this Arsenal team maybe aren't as creative as people expect that they will, but they're still a very well-drilled team. I think City will find that out over the weekend. I think in the Carabao Cup final, City started as favourites. In this one, the City didn't start as favourites. Sorry, in the Carabao Cup final, Arsenal were the favourites. And that maybe made them want to express themselves a little bit more. This time, the tables have turned. City are the favourites for this clash. And I think Guardiola knows deep down that they aren't particularly favourites going into a game against a supremely defensive Arsenal team that can keep it tight at the back. This game is one that I'm really interested in seeing how it goes, because I think it will surprise a few people how the game pans out, because I think both coaches will be very, 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 I think they'll be watching each other a lot. It's going to be a real big tactical battle, this game at the Etihad.
Now, of course, Arsenal play in the Champions League tonight as we record, so they don't have the luxury of a midweek rest. They also have to get that tie wrapped up. Only a 1-0 win in Portugal last week. So with that in mind, they're not going to be as fresh as Manchester City. But on the flip side, is there a danger where Pep Guardiola has too much time on his hands this week and gets into that trap of overcoaching and overthinking what he needs to do for Sunday?
I think when it gets to this stage of the season, it comes with the territory. You're going to play a lot of games. I don't think City, I don't think the rest will really matter, to be honest. United got 3 weeks off and still lost Leeds United in the league last time out. So I don't think that really plays a big part. I think Arsenal got a huge squad. And whether you like it or not, they're 1-0 up from the first leg against Sporting. So they can afford a bit of wiggle room in that fixture. I just feel like you said, that could be a problem. The fact that Guardiola sometimes in the big games, it's not particularly happened this year, but sometimes over the years in the big games, some Champions League finals, he's maybe overthought it a bit. And I think he's in that situation now because he definitely knows that Arteta will have a plan. And Arsenal are not going to be expansive at the Etihad, no matter what anybody says about them and says, they're the team at the top of the league. They're the ones who won the bad form. They're the ones who are supposed to show that they're champions. Arsenal are not going to care about that. They're going to go to City and just have their eyes in getting the job done. And as far as Arsenal are concerned, getting the job done is not losing. City getting the job done, on the other hand, is an absolute win.
Right, Tolu, you've got to get the job done now. You've got to put your betting hat on. This is arguably the biggest bet of the season. So which way is it going to go?
Obviously, City are the better team. They're the more expressive team. Arsenal have obviously not played particularly well lately. But I think this is where the Premier League title will be lost and won. And I still have that sneaky feeling that Arsenal have enough to win the league. And I go with that. I don't think they're going to lose at the Etihad. I would probably go a double chance on Arsenal in this one. Arsenal to win or draw. And the sweet thing here is I probably, and this is going to be a very, very unpopular opinion, I think the game will end 0-0.
Wow, there you go. That's a very bold shout. I think I like the double chance shout, but yes, no goals. I think this could be prime Arteta ball if that comes to light. But we'll see how that pans out, and we'll catch up next time, Tolu. So thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, Dan.